This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Yes, absolutely. And like you, I'd recommend people to read Robert Spencer's dissection of Islamic doctrine, particularly on issues like this. He's very good on dissecting Islamic doctrine. I have to take issue with you on one point. The idea that not all Muslims or not all Muslim men are doing this. Well, I think we can say that Muslim women aren't doing this. We can say that Muslim babies aren't doing this. We can say that Muslim pensioners are not doing this, but the statistics, the data is really worrying on this. I'd like to go through some figures with you because it leads you to some very uncomfortable conclusions. Now, the current town in Britain that we know about, because it's been researched, it's had an inquiry into it, is called Rotherham. And what they have found, the recent inquiry into Rotherham, found that over the past dozen years or so, 1,400 girls were victims of these rape gangs. Now that town has about 86,000 people in it, but the entire borough, the district under that council, which is I think what was being talked about, has 250,000. So let's take the higher figure of 250,000. Now the UK has 64 million people. So if there are 250,000 in that borough, then if you multiply 64 by 4, you come up with 250. Now, if you take the figure of 1,400 victims and you multiply that by 250, you come up with 350,000 victims. And Rotherham is substantially less Muslim, less Islamized than the average throughout the UK. The average throughout the UK is 5%. Rotherham is about 3 to 3.5%. So it's substantially less. You should have fewer instances of this crime in Rotherham than nationwide. But just think for a moment, if you have 350,000 victims, possibly more than that, somewhere between that and 500,000 victims throughout the UK. Now, the number of Muslims in the UK is said to be about 3 million. Now, if you take the rape-aged Muslim males, there'll be males between about 18 and 43. 17 and 43. That is 1/3 of the male Muslim population, or 1/6 of the total Muslim population. 1/6 of 3 million is 500,000. Now, what that looks like is you have 350 to 500,000 victims on the one hand, and you have about 500,000 rape-aged Muslim males in the UK. And the question that I'd ask you, just a quick question, yes or no, Jamie, if you have a prostitute and you have a client, who is likely to have more sexual partners, the prostitute or the prostitute's client? Well, I can answer that for you. It is the prostitute. She's going to have more clients. So the chances are that, what the data suggests is that the majority of British Muslim men of rape age are committing this crime. That is disgusting, and it needs to be looked at in much greater detail.